Hey, good day, everybody, everywhere. How you doing? It's your coach of encouragement, JL Williams. Man, I'm excited. I want to welcome you to the Runway to Purpose podcast. This podcast is our purpose is to help you empower, impact, and transform your life. Our purpose doesn't park; it soars, taking you to new levels. We're here to fuel your faith, lift your vision, and take you to a whole nother level. And who we have on deck today, I want you guys to fasten your seatbelt because today's guest is ready to inspire us to new heights. And I want you to welcome none other than Miss Zakera Banks. Miss Zakera Banks. She is the owner and sole proprietor of Ladies of Distinction, which is a nonprofit organization that helps kids in their studies and all these other things. And we'll get right into it as we get to the interview. But first, let's meet our special guest, Miss Zakera Banks. How you doing, sis?
I'm good. How are you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, fantastic. Man, it
Thank
was
you.
so good to hear a little bit about what it is that you do. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you from.
Okay, so I'm born and raised in Wilmington, Delaware. Then I moved to Elkton, like Cecil County, Maryland. So I've just been in Maryland for like a good portion of my life. I'm a Delta. I went to Salisbury University. I just got my master's in community-based education from Stevenson University. So me working in the nonprofit sector and being a community person is just me overall. I've been doing it for the past like 10 years through college and out of college. So this is how I started my nonprofit Leaders of Distinction Mentoring. So
Wow,
just been running
wow,
it.
that is absolutely awesome. And I'm so happy for you to even have, the motivation to do that. I want to find out where that comes from. Well, first of all, let me say I'm so glad that you are a Delta. My wife just went over. She's a Delta. And I
Okay.
have my other daughter coming behind her. She gonna be a Delta. So we,
Right.
we all Deltas is in the building.
Delta's in the chat.
So that's good. So tell me about, where this came from, this passion for working with kids.
So, well, I would first like to say that this nonprofit is in honor of my big sister passing away. So she was a big part of my village. So when she left my freshman year of college, I just felt like kind of lost for a little bit because like every
Mhm.
girl needs like a big sister or some type of role model. So that was my personal experience. And then like throughout college, I would mentor at local elementary schools and middle schools. And then when I graduated, I got a position in Illinois to be a residential director for
Mm,
Upward Bound Math Science at Urbana, at University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. And I was just exposed to kids who were in gangs and gun violence trauma and just, coming from single parent homes. And I
yeah,
come from a single parent home too. So I was just like had that connection and just grew up with kids who are now in gangs and things like that. So it was like, oh my gosh, like this issue is everywhere. Like coming from Delaware and then moving to Cecil County. And now
yeah.
I'm all the way in Illinois and cornfields. And these
Mm.
kids are still going through the same thing. So it was
Hey.
like surprising to me. So after Illinois, I got a position in Baltimore County to be a
Mm-hmm.
paraeducator, and I was a mentor for a all boys club called Black Boy Joy and Genius. So we got to take kids to like Raven stadiums, to like Towson University, Morgan State,
Yeah,
and it just was so amazing but shocking that these kids are from Baltimore and they never got to see the Raven Stadium. They never even knew where Morgan State was. So it just made me
wow.
like want to do more. So then I started a
Yeah.
program for boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
So my young girls can get the experience too. Like y'all are from Baltimore, but y'all don't even know about Coppin State. So or
Yeah,
UMBC.
yeah.
So like how can we expose these kids to higher education
Mm-hmm.
and just teach them life skills and to just expose them to things. So
Yeah.
that's how
Go ahead. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead. But that's
No,
key.
like
I
it
mean,
just
everything that you're saying is really spot on because our kids need exposure. That's how they grow.
yes.
And some kids live within a 4 to 8 block radius of
Mhm.
where they're from, and so a lot of them, unless they have a Zakera Banks or someone like that, they don't really get the exposure to get outside to see what's out there, what's available
Yes.
to them. And so I'm glad that you have done that, made that connection with them. What are some of the key things that you see that really help kids and really help motivate them to even want more, to want to do more?
I feel like they need the village. Like if
Hmm.
they don't have the village, they really don't know where to go. Parents are important, but also having, our community members come out to school events, our teachers
Hmm.
really being there. Um, Kids just want somebody to see them and just showing up for them. Like imagine how many kids are on a basketball team and their parents just can't come. Like,
Yeah,
why can't more community members just come out and be like, hey, number one, I think you're doing a good job. Like, kids just want to feel supported. And when they know that they have a community behind them, it's unlimited about what kids can do. And I think the first
absolutely.
thing that we can do for our kids is just show up for them. If we know that their mom has to work night shifts, can our
Hmm.
auntie come? Can our uncle come? Can that teacher even come and stay after work a little bit longer? Like kids just want to know that they're supported, that their voices are heard.
Yeah.
And we might have, more Barack Obamas in the
That's
future.
what I'm getting
Like,
ready to say. Like, we don't
yeah,
know who we have until we really expose them, speak to them. I heard
yes,
somebody say, if you ain't supporting, you ain't important. And so
yes,
we really have to begin to support our kids and really, you know, um, get them on that runway to purpose, because
yes.
that's what they need to do in order to take off. How important do you think, and speaking about purpose, how important do you think purpose is, as far as identifying that and who you are as an individual, and who you will eventually become? How important is it to you for you to identify that?
I think it's really important. So, like, our mission statement for Ladies of Distinction is to serve first generation low income, underserved minorities. That's me.
Hmm.
I grew up low income. I'm a
Yeah.
first generation college student. I'm an underserved minority. I'm a young black woman in America. So, your purpose has to go on. Like, I wouldn't have created this nonprofit if I wasn't living in it. A young
Hmm.
girl growing up in Wilmington, growing up in Cecil County. So your purpose is going to keep you motivated. And you
Yeah.
always have to stay grounded to your purpose. Like having a nonprofit, people think nonprofits make money, but they don't. But
Hmm.
whoever the CEO is, they just have to be grounded in their mission and remember the purpose of why we're here. So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
my purpose is everything. And I just want to help other low income first generation girls
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
me.
I got you. I got you. Now you are now the catalyst of which a lot of these kids will benefit from.
Hmm.
But who was the person for you that helped you identify your purpose?
I would say my mom and my sister.
Okay.
After my sister passed, like I don't think people truly understand how much of an impact one person had on your life.
Yeah.
So like, just having siblings. Siblings can be annoying, siblings can be like irritating,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's like when they're gone, you don't have that annoying, irritating person, but you also don't have that supporting, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
sister
Loving each other.
anymore. So you don't
Yeah.
have that love, you don't have that sister bond or anything. So that was my support system. I would say definitely my mom poured into me. She still is pouring into me as I start this nonprofit. And
Hmm.
especially since it's in honor of her daughter, like she's gonna, stand behind me. So that
Yeah.
is my support system. My mother, my sister, but now I got a village of, the parents I'm meeting for the
Hmm.
kids I'm serving, they're my village. So like together, my support system is growing. So at
That's
first it was just
good.
my mom and my sister, but now I have all of the parents of the kids I support, um, my mentors from college. So yeah.
Yeah. So we do similar things. So we have a organization called Let's Grow Act Win, and we actually service after school programs with homeless children at the Hope Center. And so
Okay.
we've been doing that now, going on our eighth year, and it's been
Amazing.
a real labor of love. to really, work with the different populations. It's very transit, so
Mhm.
kids go in and out, and some of it's good, some of it's not so good. But even in the midst of that, you still find what I call these diamonds in the rough. These
Yeah.
kids that just blow you away, and even in spite of the things that they may be grappling with and going through, that is no fault of their own,
Mhm.
we still create an environment where they feel special,
Yeah.
they feel important. I want you to share with our audience around how important is environment to, in working with and particularly with our population of kids that we
Yeah.
deal with, that are in these kinds of situations.
Yeah. I think it's extremely important for kids to have a safe space. Sometimes, being home is not their safe space. So having like a mentoring program, an after school camp, being a part of sports, that's the kids' safe space. So I think it's extremely important for kids to have an environment where they can just be themselves authentically,
Yeah.
um, and learn themselves. Like the kid you are at home and the kid you are at school is two different people because it's two
Hmm.
different environments. At school, you can have this person who likes to draw all the time or may even know how to, work with computers, but when they go home, they may not even have access to Wi-Fi to be on computers. So the environment really creates different people. So if a kid has all of the resources they need, they will be able to thrive in a different way than
Hmm.
someone who does not have any resources at all. So having a
Yeah,
safe space for our kids is really important.
it is. It is. Because they become the best of themselves when they are in safe spaces and spaces where they
Yes.
know they can sort of let their hair down, and they can laugh, they can smile, they
Yeah.
can giggle, they can be silly, they can be who they are, right? One of the quotes I love, that I sort of champion and really I always retreat back to, and the quote simply says this: that children are a message and a gift that we send to a time we may never see.
Hmm.
And that is so true to me. And I think one of the Kennedys actually was someone who actually shared that quote. I think it was maybe John Kennedy. And I've always looked at that quote, and I've drawn so much strength from that because it's so true. They
Yeah.
are a message. They are a gift, and we're sending them to a place we may never see, we may never
Right.
get to. But the great thing is that we made deposits, into them, and really, I feel like really played our part in helping them to be the best version of
Hmm.
themselves, which is
Yeah.
really, really, really important. So, like, you know, now when I'm sort of transitioning the conversation into, um, like, I know, like for me, um, I think being on this whole runway to purpose, platform means so much to me because the work that a person has to do in getting on the runway, the whole concept, when you think about, jumping on the plane and the plane is sort of taxiing, trying to find
Yeah.
its way, and now getting in a space on a runway where you're actually gaining momentum
Yeah.
into the thing that you have sort of been called to do. Um, Share with us like the work, because I know it's hard work, particularly being in a nonprofit, because you
Yeah.
got to do your work in order for you to qualify to take flight. So
Yeah.
tell me about the work that you do, because people need to understand that this thing don't just come just because you want it to happen.
Yeah. So I would say the work is still, it's still going. It's definitely a process because having a mentoring program, you need to build like your clientele. Like you want parents to know that their kids are going to be in a safe space. So how can you build a relationship with the parents first and then, trusting them with your kids? Because I wouldn't want to send my kids with just anybody. So it's definitely important to build like a community.
Hmm.
Um, I would just say the work doesn't stop. Like even right before this, I was having a board meeting. Like, what are
Hmm.
we doing? Like, how are we going to move forward? And I would say also having a good board.
Yeah.
Like you want to pick your mom, you want to pick your sister, your best friend, but sometimes they don't even know about a
Yeah. They
nonprofit. So how
exactly.
can you really find people who you want to trust to really run your program when you can't be there? So it's
Hmm.
definitely a process, and we all know that nonprofits, there's no money off rip. Like you got to go apply for grants, and in
Yes.
this climate, are
Hmm.
grants even
Oh my
being given
God,
out right
man.
now?
Oh my
Like
God. And
last night,
you have to really be so creative and innovative.
yes,
And now you create, you know, joint ventures and strategic partnerships and
yes,
and now getting money from resources that you probably a normal in a perfect world of nonprofits, you probably wouldn't get the money from certain places that now you
right,
may be soliciting, right?
right.
You know what I mean? It's and then you're doing different innovative approaches. So our strategic partner that we have is with our organization is United Way of Delaware, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
Dr. Shout out to Dr. Michelle Taylor and the whole United Way of Delaware family and all that they're doing. And I'm the things that I'm seeing as a result of this squeeze that we're in, of the creativity that has come out of it. And I think we are the people that champion building something out of nothing. And
Yes.
so now when we're faced with this with our organizations and our companies and all that, it takes that same kind of approach in order for us to really thrive and survive in this climate.
Yeah.
What would you say about that?
No, I agree because like we're still like really fresh to it. So we're
Yeah.
like even last night we were at a like an event for Collective Gift Baltimore, like a fundraiser. Like our goal was to raise $10,000. Now we're just having a board meeting because all we raised was 2,000. So we're like, how are we gonna, jumpstart our program for this semester with the 2,000 instead of the 10,000? So we have to find ways to get creative. You have to
Hmm.
collaborate with people that you never thought you would collaborate with, and
Yeah.
sometimes it might be good
And it'd be
because
good. Yeah.
at the end of the banquet yesterday, we just had a connection with a guy who has a mentoring program in West Baltimore and another guy who does Baltimore homeless projects. So like how can both of us, well, how can the three of us come together and have a good, event? So now
Yeah.
on August 30th, we're trying to have a back to school um
Hmm.
drive in Baltimore. Like we have some supplies,
Hmm.
unlimited potential. They have a whole bunch of supplies because they have a connection with Amazon. So like how can the two of us become a partnership and get a, connect with Amazon as well? So like you just have
Hmm.
to go outside, be present, and just see who you meet.
Yeah.
And from that, something bigger is going to come for that. Because I would
Yes.
never would have thought that I would be working with a Baltimore homeless project, Unlimited Potential, and possibly Amazon in the future. And we've only been in this game for a year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And let me tell you something, Zakira, I want to say, first of all, I'm so very proud of you and what
thank
you
you.
are doing, what you have done, and what is yet to be done. Because,
Right.
the imagination is a preview of life's coming attraction. And I believe
Yeah.
that your imagination is going to be stimulated to the degree where you just believe anything is possible, right? And so
Yes.
let me just encourage you in this um, along the way of me doing this kind of work for over 30 years. I've been in this
Hmm.
game, right? I've seen them come and I've seen them go. And the thing that I would say is never get stuck, always be innovative, always be moving. And, we attracted the likes of, um, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is a partner of mine. They
Okay.
give all the time at the Hope Center. We actually just shot a little commercial with them. I never thought that I would be in that kind of space shooting a commercial with Chick-fil-A, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, right? But it's amazing. You never know what happens along the way. And
Hmm.
I never knew that Chick-fil-A would be the entity that would do something like that. You
Right.
know, and the Bible says you have not because you ask not. And
Yeah.
what I'm saying in encouragement to you, don't be afraid to ask nobody. I mean,
Right.
we partnered with these chain of restaurants down at the Christiana Mall, and
Mhm.
never thought that they would want to be a part of, because in our heads we're almost thinking for them,
Mhm.
right? And a lot of times we may think our way out of a situation, where they may very well want to be a partner. And even
Right.
if their partnership means that I can only give something maybe once a month,
Yeah.
great. We partner with Milan's Real Philly Cheesesteak. They just became a
Okay.
partner of ours. Never knew that that's something that they wanted to do. But
Yeah.
I'm coming in there with my personality. I'm Coach Williams, and I'm always, ready to motivate somebody and share about the getting on the runway to that purpose, right? And so I'm
Yeah.
in there doing all that, and it's attracting the people that are that in there. Say, yo, man, what's your name? What you do? Blah blah blah. Before you know it, we talking about things, we went talking about basketball, this, that, and the third. But then I
Right.
share with them about what I do and my passion for kids and what it is I'm doing for the homeless population, the most vulnerable population among us, and how I would love for them to taste one of these awesome
Yeah.
cheesesteaks. Like,
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah, and
Karen,
I
I'm
think
like,
that's a good thing.
and because I experienced it, I can only imagine how one of our kids would love to
Right.
experience one of these cheesesteaks, right?
Right.
And from that conversation came, hey man, we would love to, be a partner. We love to, be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I said, man, first of all, before you do that, here's my thing with all of them. Please come to our location.
Mhm.
Please come and see what it is I'm doing. I want you to see what you're investing in. I
Right.
want you to see why I'm so passionate about what it is I'm doing. I need you to see this.
Yeah.
And when they now when they the home team always has the advantage, right? Home
Right.
court advantage. You ever heard of that, right? Home court advantage.
Yeah.
So they came to the Hope Center, and I mean they were blown away. We had some people come there and almost in tears, you like really seeing these kids in spite of
Yeah.
what they are dealing with. I always like to say it's the in spite of love, what I mean, that reaches the heart. And I mean, in spite of what they're going through and the things that they're grappling with, they're still happy. They're still
Yeah.
learning. They're still hoping. They're still, what I mean, that they're still doing the things that kids do, and it's a beautiful thing. So my thing would be, listen, leave no stone unturned,
Okay.
because the people that you think will won't, and the people that you think won't will. And
Right.
that is my advice to you. Really, go. I mean, a unorthodox approach, and take all the guardrails off, take all the limitations off,
Mhm.
and just go out there and say, you know what? I'm not going to think for nobody. I'm going to go talk to
Yeah.
Walmart. I'm going to go talk to Walgreens. I'm going to go talk to, I'm going to the,
Yeah.
listen, I'm going to the Chinese store. I'm
Right.
going to find out if
If
the
y'all can help
Chinese
me
store will
help my
donate some
people.
some shrimp fried rice or something.
Right.
Listen, you hear
No,
what
but
I'm saying
I
to you?
like
You hear what I'm
that.
saying? Hey, Zakir, do you hear what your boy saying to you?
Yeah, I hear you. But I think something that some people might be missing about this is that you're being your true self. And like
Yeah,
if you're not being your true self going into these places, nobody's gonna believe your purpose. Nobody's gonna
that's
believe your
right.
mission. If you're not your true self in your situation, telling your story, it's just gonna be
Mhm.
like another person. And I
That's right.
think that's what happens with, us as adults, our kids, like we don't know who we truly are
Yes,
sometimes. And then
that's
we get
right.
lost into ourselves and be like, oh, this is who I think I am, but that's not who
Yeah,
you are. You
that's
got to
right.
remember who you are at all
Come on, come
times
on, come on, come
because
on. You
that's how you
talking,
grow in
crowd? Go
life. That's
ahead.
how you build connections.
That's
Like
right.
nobody, I don't know. You just got to be yourself. Like,
Well, that's
just be
what
yourself.
you're. Listen, that's all a part. of what my heart is when I deal with this whole runway to purpose piece,
Hmm.
because I want people to identify that space. That space is so special and so sacred. And
Yes.
whenever you figure out what that is, I mean, there's no greater joy in the world, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
When you figure out what that space is, I'm telling you, you'll do it for free.
Right.
I mean, you'll do it because it just needs to be done. And God called you to do it. And I'm
Right.
telling you that that's what this whole piece is all about on that runway to purpose, because I want everybody to experience what it feels like to take flight in the thing that God called you to do. And I
Right.
mean, there's the feeling is just great. I never go to work. I always go to make a difference and have some
Right.
fun. I mean, it don't feel like work to me,
Right.
Zakira. It just don't feel like work to me.
It's fun. And you
It
know you're
is.
making an impact. And you
Yeah.
know, like at the end of the day, whoever you're dealing with, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I remember him from this period of my life. Like that's what matters to me. Like
Yeah.
my eighth graders at their eighth grade graduation, they're like, Miss Banks, are you about to cry? Yes, because I care about y'all and we started this journey
Yes.
together. I
Yes.
started my teaching journey when y'all was in sixth grade and now y'all are leaving and I'm still here, but I still get to see y'all like, oh, when
Yeah.
y'all basketball games, when y'all cheerleaders, like when can I see y'all again? Because I know how much of an impact y'all made to me. Without them
Yes.
kids I met in 2022, I would not be here right now having
Mm.
ladies of distinction. So like just as much as we make an impact to those kids, they're making an impact to us.
Yes.
So I love
Absolutely.
my journey. I love my purpose. I love the kids that I've had to, deal with over the years to get me to where I'm at literally today.
Man, Zakir, I want to thank you for being a special, special guest today.
Thank you
And
so
you actually
much.
are my first guest on the Runway to Purpose. So
Hey, that's
this is amazing,
amazing.
right? So we've had a
Yes.
great time together. And I want everybody to get to know who this young lady is, because she
Thank
is so
you.
special and she is a powerhouse. And guess
Thank
what?
you.
She taking flight into the thing that God has laid to her hands. And let me
Right.
tell you something, Zakir, don't stop telling your story.
Thank
One of
you.
the things I learned in sales is that facts tell, but stories sell. And I
Yes.
want you to keep telling your story and selling the dream. Because
Hmm.
what you're doing when you telling your story, you selling the dream to whoever's listening. And there's
Yeah.
somebody that wants to be in that dream with you and
Right.
wants to donate to it and wants to give whatever it is that they can give, even if it's a little bit of their time, their
Yes.
talent or their resource. It doesn't make a difference. But I'm telling you, the louder, my grandmother used to tell me it's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil, right?
Okay. The
So
squeaky
keep,
wheel.
but keep squeaking that wheel and keep, doing what you're doing, because I'm excited for you. I really am.
Thank you. Thank you
Is
so
there any
much.
last words that you want to leave with our listening audience as you continue to take flight?
Yeah. So I would just say, you never know how far you can go. Like you just have to just show up for yourself and show up for others. You never know who you're gonna meet. Even if you're scared to go to an event by yourself, just go. Even if it's for 10 minutes, say, hey, how you doing? People might just remember your smile and be like, oh my gosh, I remember her smile.
Yeah.
Just be yourself and just show up for yourself, show up for others, because they're always gonna remember you,
Mm.
however you show yourself. So that's what I would like to say. If y'all want to know more about Ladies of Distinction, y'all can just type in Ladies of Distinction mentoring.org or Ladies of Distinction mentoring on Instagram. I'm on all of the accounts, so email us, DM us. If you have any resources in Cecil County, Harford County, or Baltimore County, please call us. I want to make an impact to our girls 8 to 18. And I hope we can do this together as a community. I don't want to do this alone. I want everybody to be a part of this journey. So, yes, thank you so much for having me this morning.
Oh, listen, Zakira, listen, everybody, Miss Zakira Banks, don't you forget it. Put it in your iPhone, put it in the cloud, put it wherever you
Right.
need to put it, because she is on a mission. And I'm excited to just have her on here today. And I'm telling you, you have blessed us. Thank you for your
Yes.
presence today. We really
Thank you.
appreciate you. And thank you for flying with us on the Runway to Purpose podcast. Remember, your purpose is so special, and it's more than what you know. So just keep on keeping on. Stay on that runway until you take flight. Because guess what? There's no greater feeling in doing the thing that you have been called to do. Amen. Listen, y'all have a fantastic day in every way, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.